What's good with YouTube? Y'all already know. Man, this is about 3 different channels. Real Talk with Flacco, a convict's reaction, and a convict's perspective. Bam! Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, and do all those things to help support this channel. And hit that bell notification for either future reactions, future fire content, or future who knows what I'm going to drop on Real Talk. With that said, man, let's get to it, man. So, yeah, hopefully by tonight, ACP will be able to drop some content. I'll probably start dropping some content on there, man. But I got an interesting topic, man. And someone said something to me in a discussion today, right? And I was bringing the word inferior came up and stuff, right? And I said something, whoa, 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 right? Like, well, that's how people on YouTube try to act towards you. That's how YouTube makes you feel. I'm like, hold on, man. I said, don't get it mistaken right there. The fact of what I was raised into, what I was part of, what I strive for on a daily basis made me react the way I do today. You know what I'm saying? And let's get to the principles of what the Norte has done as far as the Norteño lucha, the carnales, the other hermanos, the other carnales I know that helped pattern me into maybe being a better man or not forgetting where I come from. And see, too many people forget where they come from. If you've ever been locked up in any type of household where there is a righteous Norteño collective, which, a functioning chain of command, there's manpower and whatnot, the one thing that you're going to see is you're going to see some of the most rigorous discipline in its soldados. And I was one that used to always lead by example as having that discipline and never ever getting in trouble and being fair across the board, but strict at the same time, right? And those things are things that I believed in. I believed in striving for unity, true Carnalismo. I was talking to a individual yesterday. He'd been a Carnal for about, he had a career close to about, almost 18 years as a Carnal. He had rose into the ranks of a Cat 3. And we were having a discussion, right? And we're talking about all the different changes about when the first estate and Fed thing started to kick off. And then we went into about Carnalismo. And he said, you know what, man? You have it whether Carnalismo is not something that has to be taught. It's something that's just either in you or it's not. And I agree. You're going to meet good individuals within the rank and file of the O or within the subordinates in soldados and northerners. You're going to find people who have true Carnalismo, who make true gestures, who want to really emphasize unity. You're going to have those that are willing to really, truly sacrifice. You're going to have those at the same token that are worried about the ego, are worried about having a superiority complex in themselves, insecurities and whatnot. You're going to have those that are greedy, disloyal, betrayals, all the things that you experience in any type of group, movement, or organization you're going to experience. But whatever side of the track you are, right, whatever leads you to whatever side you're at, Carnalismo is something that either you have or you don't have. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with everything across the board. Either you represent yourself as a good human being and as a true pillar of your beliefs, or you don't. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times people who have abandoned the morality and the ethics within the people's movement, right? Which is what I used to like to refer to it, the people's movement, being that of equality, respect, social status, you know what I'm saying? Unity, you know what I'm saying? Unification within its people. Not just being united was enough. These are all the things that I used to strive for within myself, within other people. And I used to have to be basically a mirror for others to sit there in my eyes to look at as someone that, hey, you know what, I want to emphasize that kind of program, because that's what I did. I took a lot of homeboys I respected that were elders, and I emulated their program into being who I was. And one thing that I was always taught in the beginning stages, right, was due process and about the laws and about standing up for yourself, never feeling inferior. One of the first things that was given to me, right, in being in school was the words inferiority and superiority. Just a breakdown of those words, because that was the most important thing that they wanted you to recognize, that, look, you know better because you have rank and status, or you've been here or done that. You therefore have a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And the inferiority part was, you know what, play your position. Don't feel less of a man because you're not being looked at as the main dude. You know, we all have a position that we play, you know, because whenever something comes and infiltrates this nucleus that you have, it offsets everything, and everything becomes basically a detriment upon your functions. And it's true, you know, and you know, the stuff I've seen the last year, it's been really difficult to process. It's been difficult that at times you have to react. And you know what I'm saying? You know, you have to defend yourself to a certain extent. But when I really take a step back, man, and the unfortunate thing, right, is if I wasn't a North Daniel and I was watching some of the shit that I've seen, I'd be like, this is how these motherfucking busters from the North act? Straight up. It's not how we act, man. That's the fucking unfortunate thing about it. It's not at all. Anybody who knows, it's not how fucking En Soldados act. It's not how Carnales act. This is not the fucking trend that should be set up on this YouTube shit, man. And it's unfortunate you got those who don't have the proper schooling or never been nowhere to experience anything that are sitting there kind of giving the Norte a bad name, basically a bad look. You know, a lot of us should know better. Not a lot of us. A lot of people don't know better because I've already basically did my fucking R&I as far as who's been where, what, why. A lot of them don't know better. That's the fucking truth of it. A few do, you know what I'm saying? But a few also had fucking bumped heads along the road and they could never get with the program. And those are facts, you know, and it's unfortunate because this is kind of stuff that's always been preached and emphasized in the teachings is about the internal conflict, bond number 4, and people who create it, people who seek it. You know, at the same time, it doesn't say they sit there and accept being anybody's doormat or no punching bag. You know, and a lot of us should know better. When you sit there and you really look at it, it says a lot. A lot by the action says a lot to me, man. You know, I'm a firm believer, like I said before, the North Daniel ideologies, the teachings, the core beliefs, I'm all supportive of 100%, man. Those are things I strive for on a daily basis, man. It's just the application of certain individuals who sometimes fall within those rank and files, who abuse it, who use it for their own personal gain and recognition. Lancha was one of those ones. DB, a few others. You know, Cornejo was. You know, a few brothers were doing that. Dudes that were out there in the yard, they were fucking getting all fucking slapped back on heroin, yet trying to hold everybody else accountable. I've seen it all, you know what I mean? And those are not the things that should be a replica of what the North Daniel movement's supposed to be. Regards that a lot of us, whatever our choices are, led us to where we're at, does not mean that we forget who the fuck we used to be or what we represented, man. And I can't see myself all of a sudden, all those years, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, I'm talking about beating up before the bar lot, busting down fucking machina, rolling up the mattress, fucking going out to the yard, sacrificing whenever requested, caught hella time. I can't see myself becoming someone that's going to all of a sudden just engage in the negativity or engage up in these fucking slander games or all the bullshit fucking hoe games that be playing. And it is what it is. It's exactly what it is, man. You know, the old ways of the people, man, it's a bad look, man, period. You know, and it's like when I watch some of the stuff that goes on with the rappers from down south, right? It's a bad look. I'm going to keep it 100. It's a bad fucking look. Say what you want, you know what I'm saying, about who I am or whatnot, but this is a true statement. It's a bad look. Why can't they get along? Why are they fucking dissing each other? It's fucking becomes comical. It becomes the laughing stock of everybody else's joke. And that's exactly what you're kind of starting to see a little bit, man. And if people, and this is where it comes down to, if people fell in tune with look, you don't have to fucking sit there and say, okay, I follow the North Daniel ideologies, the people's movement or the cause, the struggle, because no, a lot of people ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? But we shouldn't forget where the fuck we came from. Regardless if you could get with the program or not, people need to realize, you know, how it's a look overall. You know what I'm saying? By people's actions. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me trying to get all political. That's just me on here keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? You know, the conversation I had with the Carnalismo last night was a good one. You know, and he reached out to me this morning. He said, you know, I don't get to talk to too many people from that past life. And, you know, I said, I get it. Because there's not too many people that I get to talk to who were really involved in that life. that were really with the functions, that know all the inner workings, that know things that I know that I still haven't put on YouTube. You know, the only ones that really probably would know any of that information would probably be Boxer and probably Rojo, but Rojo kind of fucking left a little bit earlier, around, you know what I mean? Around, I think 2000 or 2001, I think they say. But other than that, there's not too many people I can sit there and have a conversation with in on YouTube, and that's going to sit there and meet me eye to eye as far as understanding. Well, of course, Chago, of course, and Toko and people like that. But other than that, you had to been with the functions. You had to been a Ensolado or Carnal. You had to be fucking out there, you know, working with the regiment, not just assisting from afar. You had to really be involved. Therefore, you know the standards that we had set, you know, the expectations. And, you know, I get calls from a lot of homeboys sometimes. It's like, Flacco, what are you doing, man? I go, whoa. They're like, you know what? You're right, though. You know, if that's your teachings, that's your beliefs. And that's the bad thing about it is we were never taught to fucking pray or try to knock down our people or try to belittle our people. That was never a fucking ethic, or that was never, not ethic. That was never a desire within the household functions. You know what I'm saying? We didn't play that favoritism. We didn't play that fucking bully role. We didn't play that. We were supposed to be the protectors of the people, the advocates, the ones that were the front line, that were willing to sacrifice. Yes, sometimes we'd have to hold positions of authority and not make those sacrifices, but any true believer, Northerner, Carnal, is always willing to sacrifice at any given fucking moment. It is never going to be there to fucking put down the gente, and it's never going to be there to take advantage of the gente. That to me is what a true believer is. You know, do some people have vices? Yes, we all do. Do some people have certain behaviors that could be redeemed later on? Of course. But that's what we are. We're a work in progress. And see, the minute it became more about financial structure and less about Carnalismo is when everything went to shuck and shit. Me and the Carnal were talking about that last night. He goes, the minute it became more about money, we fucked everything up. When it was about Carnalismo, that was something that we could all relate to. He goes, because the gangsterism, the money part, he goes, fuck, we could do that on our fucking own. He goes, I was getting money before I became a Carnal. And I was like, you're right. It was the Carnalismo that brought us together. It was the desire to put forth the people and to have those relationships that were solid. It wasn't about bashing brothers. It wasn't about doing this. It was about showing everybody, the people that you sat there and represented, that you were, you know what I'm saying, going to be the one that was going to represent them. Because there's a lot of dudes that just wanted to sit back in the shadows, and they just were there as household members, man. Some of them maybe wanted to become a bro, but they never put the work in, or they did. They had status temporarily, you know, and sometimes people fell under that what you call renegades and degenerates. There was a lot of homeboys that were not recruited through proper procedures back in the days, man. You know, you don't know how many people I had to fucking revoke their status as not being valid. It happened all the time. Even Carnales, I had to revoke their statuses. They got their C status later on, but there's a few that I had to revoke because those were orders. But in how you treat your people should always be what you represent and how you look. You know what I'm saying? Do we want to be fucking cell soldiers? Do we want to have that pasete behavior, fucking doing the stuff that I've seen? No, we don't. But it's kind of becomes hard when you got a small nucleus that's the type of behavior that they want to resort to. You know, truth be told, you know, that should be beneath anybody who was about that life. And when I mean beneath, it should be, that's what's inferior. Resort to that kind of shit, even given any of that, any type of fucking act, any type of energy. You know, there's a reason why, if you think about it, man, look at all the people that do tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? These are dudes that held rank and status. A lot of people tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't find that just fucking, just for coincidence, just because a lot of people know who I am. They know my past. They know what the character I was, you know, and don't be misled by those who don't know nothing at times, who want to sit there and belittle or put themselves on a pedestal that is kind of on the lower totem pole. Let's just keep it 100, you know? And that doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter though about that. The lower totem pole, what I mean by that is they don't have the educational attainments, they don't have the experience, and they try to make themselves look more superior than what they are. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. You know, technically we're all supposed to be equal across the board. You know, some had more commitments. But anyways, I'm digressing a little bit. What I'm getting to is this, man. it's a, as North Daniels in our past, right? Ain't nobody fucking active that's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody active that's, there's a lot of stuff that people can try to portray that they're active or this and that. They are not. Not one motherfucker on YouTube to be considered active if they go back to prison. Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? In some form or fashion, it's going to be looked at the same way. Okay, but why should we forget what we used to represent, what our beliefs were, our code of conduct, our professional mannerism? Because we were always striving to be looked at on an elite level. And now if we're misbehaving, if we're acting like fucking J-Cats, if we're acting with all this cheese, man, what's going to happen? People won't look at you. People want to suppress the North. There's a lot of people from down south. They tap in. They're cool. But there's some people that have the fucking ulterior agendas and motives. They want to fucking fuel the fire to make the fucking North look worse. And a lot of times they're fucking the ones that are like, hey, yeah, hey, gracias. Oh, yeah, fuck that dude. Woo, woo. Yet the whole time their agenda is to fucking make the North look bad. Let's just keep it real. Now, there's some from down south that fucking really have good hearts and they fucking are good people and they're men. And they represent what they represent, but they're going to show you respect. But there's also those who, bam, they want to make the North look bad. And it's inside their motives. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people, a couple people will jump on my shit and fucking be supportive of what I got to say sometimes when I respond back. And then they'll go on to that person's shit and they'll fucking jump in. So it's fucking games that are being played, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I just wanted to go into a little bit about what the North End made me as a person, that sometimes it seems like maybe we forget what our goals were and who we were as men, as soldados. And just because we're not active does not mean we have to start fucking acting like fucking pesetas, man. Because this shit that I'm seeing is the shit that we should sit there and say, man, look at the fucking pesetas, man. Thank God they're not a part of us. And it bothers me, man, that I could be even in that conversation now by a lot of the shit that I've seen. You know, and I don't want to be pulled into other people's fucking shit no more. You know what I mean? I'd rather just fucking go back to doing what I was doing before. You know what I mean? If people want to feel a certain way, so be it. But I gotta tell people to really take a step back and look at what's going on, man. And what I mean by that is look at how people are trying to draw people into fucking these dramas, these conflicts. And a lot of it, who's it making look bad? Self-evident, right? Anyways, with that said, it's your boy Flacco. I'm gone.